Hello, Miles. How you doing? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. I've got you up. Oh, there you are, right there. Okay, so let me just reduce this a little bit so we can fit it in the window. Actually, let me separate that page. We'll keep that separate. We'll reduce that, fit it in the window, and I think we're good to go almost. Okay. All right. So the one thing I'm noticing about the process book is your page size changes, and that's not a good thing. This should be a presentation ready for in presentation format. So I'm a little concerned about the depiction of these pages that are from the actual. I mean, I understand it's a scrolling nature of the a mobile app as it would be seen on the phone, but we don't need all of this. I mean, basically, this is just a representation of what we already have in the mobile app. So I'm going to recommend that we remove those pages. And let me just get into this and we'll start going through. This will make more sense. First of all, I love the playful nature of the process book. I think it's just really super inviting. One thing I think is your type is a little bit too big. It's almost jarring. I would consider reducing this, like stuff like this. Just reduce the size just to say hi, Eric. That's just really, really large. You're presenting all your type in bold too. Now, don't forget, bold type is synonymous with getting yelled at, and a lot of people don't appreciate bold type and anything other than to create emphasis in a very limited capacity. So I do not recommend presenting body copy in bold type. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we have. So we get started. So we have basically this is your statement of intent, right? And I think it's done in a very playful way. We've got problems, things like, okay, so we got statement of intent, we got the definition of the problem, and then I'll fix those and add some new things. And then so we have your solution statement. That's fantastic. All right, and I love this page too. That's great. All right, so then we have picture this. I don't understand this page at all. So maybe we can try to describe this page here. Then we have these. Now don't forget, we'll have to add, these are your personas. So you've got two personas, and then you go straight to target audience. So don't forget, add your two personas. We're going to need a storyboard with a scenario. All right, you can take a look at the examples in the announcements area. I think the greenhouse example doesn't have that scenario. So you want to storyboard out a scenario based on one of the personas. Okay, and in that scenario, you're going to present the problem and show in the storyboard how the app will rectify that problem. Okay, so you've got your personas. So we go from personas to storyboards and then to scenarios and then storyboards of that scenario. Then you've got your target audience. I would list the target audience before the personas. Doesn't that make sense? Because the personas would fit into the target audience. So the target audience should come first before the personas. Okay, so we have target audience. Okay, then we have how to complete height of pipeline. Oh, here are your, okay, so here's your storyboard. Here's your scenario with your storyboard. Excellent. Okay, good job. Good job. You could probably condense this to one page. I would condense this to one page instead of three. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Okay, so now from here, instead of just going in and showing pages, like these are pages directly from the website compiled in a way that they're scrollable, let's forget that. Let's see a peek at what this looks like. So at this point, here is where you would give your wireframes. Okay, you would give your wireframe sketches. Okay, sketch all screens. Then you would include that, so those wireframe sketches will turn into your paper prototypes. So you sketch out all of your wireframes, then you cut those out, turn those into your paper prototypes, which you will use for testing. We need we need wireframe sketches of all the screens. Then we need to pictures, actual photographs of the user testing session. So when you're presenting the test subject with the questions, the tasks, in which you record their mouse clicks or where they point of where they think they would go to solve that task, you record all of that and you take a picture of yourself, and you could even just show somebody clicking the right place on the paper prototype. Okay, At that point, what you would do is you would photograph all the paper prototypes, photograph the user testing session, and then you would give a summary of tasks for the usability testing. And what is that? That's basically a list of questions that you will ask. I'm going to the greenhouse example. This is available in week 2, I believe. But anyways, page 52, here's like a script of the tasks that you're going to present. These are the summary of tasks for usability testing. Okay, so you need to develop that. Then you will take, these are the questions you'll ask the test subject. You'll show them the opening screen and say, okay, show me where you would press to log in. They'll press. If they get it wrong, you'll write that down really quick. If more than one of your test subjects gets a task wrong, it's an indication that you have to change that sketch for the paper prototype. Okay. So then we need a written analysis summarizing the results of all of the testing session. Okay, so written analysis for that. Then we need digital mock-ups of all screens. I'll show you what those look like right there. Here's your wireframes of all screens. These are your digital mock-ups of all screens. We need digital mock-ups of all screens. Then we need the project summary, a summary page, and then your bibliography and your resources page, your research citations page. Okay, so there's a few things that are missing, and like I said, if we I think everything is great up to this point right here. And then, so what you want to do here is show your wireframes. Go straight to your wireframes and your prototype sketches, then show your testing sketches photograph, give a list of the test questions, a summary analysis of the test session, and then include your, make sure you include images of the prototype test, that written analysis summarizing the results of the testing session, a complete analysis. Then, of course, you'll include your project summary and your bibliography. Now, next week, introducing next week in the course announcements in my introduction, I will include a list. The list will look a lot like this, and it'll be all of the requirements that are expected to be seen in. And I'll give that on Sunday so that you have time to compile your presentation, so everything is included in it. So I think it's a great start. Like I said, up to here, this is fantastic. And then right here, we just go into showing examples of what the actual site looks like. So don't forget, this has to go straight into prototypes. So you're going to show and make sure you show those screens, navigation, so you can ask those pertinent test questions. Okay, I know it's, as we're throwing a lot at you, I know it's kind of a daunting task, but it's just a matter of following a logical progression. And I think you're up to that point, right up to here, and then you kind of go astray a little bit right here, Miles. Now listen, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. And I just want to reiterate, the process here is just as important as the final outcome. So basically, we're looking for evidence of all of the underlying principles that are needed to assemble a process for usability testing for paper prototyping and user testing. And that's basically what this class is about. It's an introductory class, and as long as you understand the process and you're showing the process in your book, that is just as important as coming up with a click-through prototype showing the intent of the actual app. Okay, so we really want to take this process book very, very seriously. The process book is a big part of your grade because, of course, as I said, indicating a good, solid knowledge of process here is just as important as including a final workable click-through prototype. So keep that in mind. All right, Miles, at this point, of course, is where I say if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you need any clarification whatsoever, please let me know. All right, great start. Thanks so much for sharing.